Friends, hello. How are you doing? Getting a cup of coffee here. Listen, man, what a day in the world. What a day in the market. What a day in the news. It's ballistic out there. Something new every day. Listen, Sofi and SoundHound, these are pretty much solid investments going into 2025 here, okay? I think that's pretty safe. I don't think too many people are disagreeing with that comment at this point here. I think it's pretty safe to say Sofi is finally getting into some valuable range where it should have been. It's still growing here, and a lot more to come. And SoundHound is a very much in the early stages of a company that is growing probably at a very fast rate from this point on because of what's going on here. So let's talk about Sofi real fast, because I've already talked about Sofi so much, so I don't want to repeat so much, and kind of make this a short, sweet, to the point video. There's not a lot of new news that's gone on here so far with these companies since the last 48 hours I've talked about them. But Sofi now is back up in this not back, it's broken into a $15 range, almost going to a $16 price point today. I mean, which is insanity. So I think the last time I talked about Sofi here a day or so ago, I said, Sofi is on a road to $20 here, and that is 100% true. I don't think there's anyone disagreeing with that. SoundHound, Sofi has entered a place here where it's gone from 11, it's gone from 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now we're in the 15. Probably more than likely may be tomorrow, Friday, last day of the week in the market here. We may see some sell off back into the high 14 range. But from there, wherever the new highs are, eventually within days' time, become the new lows. And, the new lows, they're gone. So that's what we're dealing with right now. And 2-3 weeks from now, we could be talking about SoundHound as $16 to $18 stock. I mean, look at the progression of how fast it's moving right now. So I don't, like I said, I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but I think if you know, Sofi so far, let's just break it down. In the last 4 months, Sofi has had this credit card application deal that it came out with. It's had, the $2 billion situation, $2 billion deal. In the middle of the year here, Sofi CEO came out and said, hey, we've got a lot cooking here. We've got a lot cooking, some things I can say, some things I can't say. And not to mention Sofi here, I'll keep wanting to say SoundHound, but Sofi here is really, really hoping and gearing up for a Republican-led party going into 2025 because of where, policies are going to go here. So, Sofi is going off of all that right now, not to mention the rate cut situation that's taking place here month by month and what we're gathering here. So it's so much good news that's festering around Sofi to where it's just becoming a very, very, aggressive stock right now and making people insanely rich right now. So, I don't think this is why it's too crazy to say that Sofi could be at a $20 range here within, 40 to 50 days. And maybe by summer of 2025, we may be looking at a $30, $40 stock here. I mean, I don't think that look at the progression of how things have moved here with a lot of stocks that, people just spoke against. That they're doing amazing things. Let's kind of break this down where Sofi's gone so far. This summer with Sofi, we were sitting at, a high $6 range here. And at that point, we didn't know about rate cuts. They were supposed to happen, maybe going to happen, not going to happen. We were in the middle of who's going to win the election. And, stuff was somewhat getting cheaper. Then inflation started to kick back up. Job reports, still not great. It was just a wild time at that moment. But, now since September, we've started to see a little bit of a kick up here. Then October, a lot of news started to break. Then we get into some, the $2 billion deal. Then these huge quarterlies came out with Sofi, biggest quarterlies they've ever had. Sofi is projected to probably increase every quarterly they have right now, especially going into 2025, because it's such a rapidly growing company. Not to mention with their earnings, but just with their, people that bank with them, their customers here. So, and I said this last time, I encourage you to make a bank account with Sofi here. It's wild what you can do with their bank account. I mean, the technology is off the rail here. It's essentially like opening up a trading platform, but it's a bank account. You can have a checking, savings. You can buy stocks, buy, sell stocks. There's all kinds of things to do with you as a customer with SoFi, so you should really check it out. I mean, it's amazing. It costs you nothing. You should do it. So friends, listen, like I said, I don't have a lot more to say about SoFi than it's going to plan. SoFi is doing exactly what we've talked about SoFi is going to do here. SoFi was waiting on all this stuff to happen with the rate cuts, with earnings. Not to mention, it's been coming out with good earnings. This isn't anything new. It's just coming out with these huge earnings now. To really fill in the gaps of what we've been missing here. The rate cuts, the deals, what's coming in 2025. More than likely, I could definitely see by the inauguration here in January, SoFi could be at an $18, $20 stock. And yeah, is that a lot? Is that a lot of progression in a short time? Absolutely. But look at what we've done here just in the past 35 days. Okay, so another 35 days from now, how a lot of these stocks. I mean, look at Palantir. Look at a lot of these AI stocks. There's more stocks than just SoFi and Palantir that are doing really good company wise, that are moving aggressively. Just because I'm not talking about them doesn't mean they're not out there. There are a lot of people trying to put large amounts of money, small amounts, mid amounts of money in places in stocks right now, and this is why you're seeing a lot of stocks run up very, very fast right now, especially before this election, because people are so scared of getting priced out of a lot of stocks. SoFi being a great example of that situation. So, friends, like I said, I'm not digging into SoFi here. I've talked about SoFi so much, but the main thing to say here is that SoFi is doing what SoFi is supposed to do. It's got everything it needs. It's got all the ammunition it needs. It is running up. It's running up. We're going to get into a situation here where SoFi is going to get very expensive very fast and trick a lot of people. Let's talk about SoundHound. So obviously, if you know me, I have been drinking the juice. I have been praising SoundHound for months now. I mean, back when this stuff was $3-4, I was telling people this stuff is going to explode before you know it. I'm just warning you, and I still feel that way. Absolutely. SoundHound is looking for an $8 range here. SoundHound is looking for a double-digit number sooner than later. This is a stock that's going to get very expensive very fast. And one reason for what's going on right now is that SoundHound came out with their quarterlies here, and they were good. They were good quarterlies. SoundHound is still in a position where it's not out of debt. It's still trying to make up lost years with money, and they're finally getting into a place where they're making huge profit. They're moving forward aggressively right now. They're making up a lot of ground. So that's really good. There's other AI companies that are in similar situations, but they're behind SoundHound right now. But they're, even like other AI stocks like Big Bear here, BBAI, that's another AI stock, but we'll call it that. But Big Bear AI here, this is a $2 stock. But that company right there is kind of like where SoundHound was 2 years ago, where SoundHound was. Big Bear AI is a company that's getting a lot of heat right now. People are looking at it. It has a government contract, but they're just not in a range of profitability right now. They're not doing so much on the profitability range. That's why their stock is still really cheap, and it's a little bit of an iffy investment. You're taking a risk, you're taking a chance, and you're holding your money there for some time to see if it will actually start to pop here. Now, SoundHound, why I go right into SoundHound is because SoundHound is getting into a profitability range, and when companies get into profitability ranges, their stock goes up heavily, and this is why you're watching SoundHound getting expensive here pretty fast. Not to mention they're right beside NVIDIA, because NVIDIA made another hefty investment in SoundHound. So, and a lot of people there think that NVIDIA could eventually buy SoundHound. Maybe, fingers crossed that could happen. Obviously, that would be an amazing situation for SoundHound investors. But I don't know that that's going to happen. I don't, that's just all what we think here. So, SoundHound still a very small company, compared to what, in the AI realm, just a $2 billion market cap. SoundHound is not a company that's having, Palantir quarterlies nowhere near to even nowhere around NVIDIA quarterlies. It's still a very baby AI company, but it's the application that they are providing right now in the AI sector that is going to continue to grow over the next 5 to 10 years. And with their profits increasing significantly right now, and next year they are really going to double that, if not more, at this point from what it's looking like. This is what is leading a lot of people to suspect, even big investment firms are coming out now and say, hey, we're raising our price. Analysts on SoundHound here, and you're seeing just these constant. I mean, it's just nothing but good articles right now with SoundHound, which is crazy to see because the stock is getting expensive. The stock is getting very popular, and the stock is being backed by NVIDIA. Not to mention, we're seeing profit increase here, so it's leading everyone to suspect we're gonna get somewhere in 2025 where people are gonna mess up. SoundHound's going to come out with a really great quarterly, the biggest one they've ever had. And somewhere too in 2025, SoundHound is probably going to get a massive deal with some kind of company. Okay, of course, their biggest deals, biggest situations that happen at this point with money, more than likely, I think most of us can argue it's the investment from NVIDIA. That's a huge thing from them. But SoundHound is just waiting on one organic big deal that it captures from a company, from government contract, whatever it be. It's waiting on one big contract, like that $1 billion contract. And still, obviously, that's not, $1 billion in the scheme of AI companies right now is not a big deal. I mean, that's like $5 compared to a lot of these AI companies. But for a small company like SoundHound, if they were to capture, a few of those deals right there, that'd be huge. Their market cap would go up dramatically. That would be what would shoot it into a $10 to $12 stock. That's huge money. So they would only grow from right there, and that would get them far ahead into the competition as well. So, listen, like I said, I don't want to yap my mouth too much about this, but SoundHound is a company right now, like I said, that is getting into profitability range. It's close. It's growing really fast, and it is definitely, I am, for my own money, I know this is going to be the dark horse of 2025. It is going to come up out of the dark, out of the back of the pack, and it is going to take a really, probably not first place, but it's going to be in the top 4, top 5 of AI stocks of 2025. I am fully convinced of that. With the growth of this stock, the growth of this company, and how popular it is getting, it is only a matter of time for this stock gets out of control to where, we're going to see $8 stick, we're going to see $10 stick, we're going to see $12 stick, then we're going to get into the teen range, and it's gotten really expensive really fast when people could have been buying it for $3, $4, $5, $6, $7. So it's just a matter of time. All the evidence is there. The evidence is there that this company is going to grow, and the stock is going to grow with it, making it a very expensive situation. So, friends, like I said, I don't want to yap too much about it. I'm excited. You should be excited. This is keen opportunity for a lot of stocks out there. Sofi, so much more to come. SoundHound, so much more to come. So much more to come. So check yourself where you're at with those stocks. Those are not stocks to sell out of. Those are stocks to put as much capital in as you possibly can right now for what is to come. That is the God's honest truth. Friends, I wish you all the well. Best of luck. We'll talk tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.